So, I just finished watching this League of Legends Wild Rift. I just opened this account to record this video right here, the Vampire Marquis. It was actually recommended to me by a viewer. But then I saw this, and I remembered, damn, I used to play League of Legends. By that I mean I played it for 2 days. And in those 2 days, I played like 4 matches, which each lasted from 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, hell no, I cannot do this. I'm already getting addicted to this game. So I just deleted it on the spot.
Hey people.
And now, Bloodlines. Give me a second. That was really loud.
Here.
The
Tonight,
Vampire
I'll be covering one of my
Masquerade.
favorite RPGs, a cult classic that brings you back no matter how many times you finished it. Do you love shopping at Hot Topic? Do you hate
I like shopping at Hot Topic.
natural
Never been
sunlight?
there
Have
before,
you ever
but hey,
wanted to
I
suck
do
off a
hate
homeless?
sunlight.
If you answered yes to
Pause.
any of those, then I know exactly the game for you. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, released in 2004 by Troika Games. Bloodlines takes place in modern-day LA, but our story begins in the
Okay.
Old Testament. So, to understand the
You
lore,
know, how many of these old games took place in LA? Why did I do that? Whatever. How many of these, like San Andreas, took place in LA? Then you had GTA come out. Those are the only games I know. Mostly because I wasn't born then. I was born like 2 years later, 2007.
I'll need you all to whip out your Bibles and flip to Genesis 4. Remember Cain and Abel? In the Bible,
Yep.
the two brothers made offerings to God. Abel offered the Lord some lamb chops. Cain gave him some Weetabix or some shit. Naturally, God liked Abel's offer a lot more. So Cain disabled his
Well
brother
done.
by murdering him with a fucking rock. God was very unhappy
Wasn't
with
that like
Cain
the
for
second
killing his
sin?
brother. Nah, God doesn't give a shit. Cain's crime was murdering his brother and then having the audacity to lie to God. In the Bible, God punishes Cain to wander the earth. In Vampire the Masquerade, God punishes Cain by giving him superpowers.
Cain, for crimes against your creator
What
and your
the hell do you mean?
fellow
That ain't.
man, I
Well,
sentence you to
vampirism is a
immortality. I'm
kind of
also
a
giving
punishment.
you super speed and super strength. You can also turn invisible. Would you like to polymorph as well? Sometimes I like to turn into a burning bush and scare the shit out of Moses.
Anyway, God turns Cain into the first vampire. The only downside, he can't walk in the light and he has to drink the blood of others to survive. God's true punishment is giving Cain the ability to sire children. But with immortality, the only
Really?
thing left to fear is death itself. That fear becomes paranoia, jealousy, hatred, not for humans, but for your own kind. And that fear
What?
ends up consuming you. Just as Cain murdered his brother, he is now forced to watch for all eternity as generations of his own children murder each other.
Thing. I mean, one thing you got to know about God is He knows irony. Okay, He is a patient. Well, he, they, them. God is a patient being, and God will make you suffer just so slowly that you would think first, oh, this isn't suffering, and then it hits you, and God will be
Where
laughing.
do you come into
Be
all of this?
patient.
You're a random schmuck who gets embraced against your will in a
Oh,
seedy LA hotel. When you wake up, you're a vampire. But before you get comfortable, the Camarilla boys break in, stake for both of you, and ship you off to vampire court. Turns out,
what?
siring vampires without permission is a big no-no and a violation of a masquerade, which is basically a loose set of rules to keep mortals from finding out about the supernatural and from realizing that Vladimir Tepes was, in fact, a high-level Tsimisi who turned Romanians into dining chairs, because if humans ever found out, that's a
What?
guaranteed death sentence for every vampire on Earth. The judges make their verdict. Your sire
I'm
gets
confused.
decapitated by Magilla Gorilla, the African muscle man behind Sebastian LaCroix, Camarilla Prince of LA. And you're next on the
Prince
chopping
of
block. Oh well,
L.A.
at least you got laid. However, Nines Rodriguez, leader of the LA Anarchs, protests against your immediate execution. Suddenly struck with a flood of emotion
Why?
and newfound empathy, LaCroix decides to spare you your life.
I don't trust that, and I'm gonna say it right now. He didn't spare you because he's empathetic. That's stupid. He spared you because he has plans. Very, very evil plans. He's the final boss of this game. He's
Instead,
gotta
he
be.
sends you off on a suicide mission to get killed somewhere
Yep.
else. Clueless and
You
alone,
see?
you're thrown into this game as an unwilling pawn in a world of darkness.
What? Oh, man. And you're a goddamn Malkavian, too. Wow. You really are fucked.
But as with any chess game, if you underestimate the
Oh.
pawn, you've already lost. Survive, understand, and identify the other pieces on your board. Once you do, you'll have to make a choice between being a player and being a pawn. And I should warn you, a pawn is always sacrificed to protect the king. Before you start, you have to pick your clan. There are 7 to choose from. They're generally very interesting and offer unique approaches to the game. Bruja and Gangrels are hobos and furries, respectively.
Wait.
They're the game. Bruja and Gangrels
History, homosexual. You. What? You always found your own gender much more attractive than the other. Okay. Maybe Vampire Society is. Okay, I'm an idiot, okay? I'm an idiot. When I saw homosexual, I thought, oh, this is a game set in the 2000s. I'm like, this might just mean that you get more power from eating people of your own race. I mean, sex.
are
Not.
hobos and furries, respectively.
I'm an idiot,
They're very
okay?
hot-tempered and have poor impulse control. Tremere can do this.
Is that bloodbending?
They're basically undead blood mages.
I saw that
Or
coming.
the very definition of vampire sluts. Being a room temperature piece of ass
What?
does have its advantages though, and lets you get what you want without conflict. Ventru are like vampire aristocracy. Basically, they're assholes who think they're too good for sucking off a homeless. Don't say that to their face, though, or you might find your neck snapped. Nosferatu are hideously deformed. Women ignore you or call the police when they see your face.
Yeah, what'll it be?
I mean, I did see a video about the book Nosferatu.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
He is ugly as sin. Did that woman just die? She died from looking at how ugly you are.
Don't be sneaking up on a brother with your crackhead skin disease test tube baby looking ass.
Damn.
Damn, you shit my pants. I don't sell no soap, so what the hell you want?
So, really, no different
That's
from
just
being
an
alive.
average day for
Malkavians
Elon.
are batshit insane. Their curse makes them unhinged, unstable, and even worse, completely lucid and prophetic. They can also spread this insanity to others. As a result, they've got some of the best
Insanity.
interactions and dialogue options in the entire game,
What?
which may or may not include talking to stop signs and being interrogated by your own television.
and that the source of the detonation possibly came from you. Hey,
What?
heard anything? Kind of musky.
It's no small secret that Clan Malkavian is my favorite.
So they're just
If it's
on
your
a
first
trip
time
all
playing
the time.
Bloodlines, I recommend playing any clan which isn't Malkavian or Nosferatu. Why? Because the Madness Network isn't random. It's foreshadowing. It's knowledge you know but shouldn't. And all these revelations will go over your head when you can't make sense of it. Also, getting spotted out in the open is an instant Masquerade violation for Nosferatus, which can result in your
Well,
immediate
yeah,
death.
you see
It's better
that.
for seasoned players who already know who and where everyone and everything is. Also, I hope you like sewers, because you're going to be seeing a lot of sewers as a Nosferatu.
Okay, I gotta say, for a game this old, the graphics aren't putting me off. Like, most old games normally put me off, like San Andreas, for example. I would never play that game. Why? Just because of the graphics. The graphics aren't up to standard, but this game, I can see myself playing it. Right. But I've always liked games that are more high fantasy. GTA, games like that are more grounded in some sort of reality just bore me in comparison. So that might have a thing
Hope
to
you
do
pack
with it.
snacks. But why would I play this old-ass game a second time, Seth? I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a reading to catch up on. Because, you goddamn zoomer, a lot of stuff to do. I got a reading.
Dojin.com. Hentai. This, yeah.
catch up on. Because, you goddamn zoomer, the game isn't very long. Length isn't the point of it. It's the choices you
long?
make. And there's a lot of different choices you can take depending on your character, which come back to help or haunt you in the future. It's a very well contained and believable world that never breaks your suspension of disbelief. You might be turned off by the vampires, and to tell the truth,
Of course.
I was too.
I despise Twilight with all my being. Twilight just sucks.
So was my mom, and now she's probably finished the game more times than me, because this game isn't about vampires, the undead, or the
I like
supernatural.
vampires.
It's
Twilight
about
just
humans, and regardless of whether they're mortal or
stupid.
damned flesh, they all act, think, and feel human. They've got real fears, hopes, and motivations which drive their character. Every single character, no matter how central or insignificant they are to the plot, are written fantastically well. And that's the main praise you hear for this game. The story and the dialogue, which has some goddamn amazing voice acting.
I am the proprietor and salesman of the month several years in a row. The ladies call me, oh God, but you can call me Fat Larry with a F-A-T, cause I know
Fat
I got a
Larry.
weight problem, I just don't give a fuck.
Hey, that's Fat Larry right there. We should all try to be like Fat Larry. I mean, I got problems too, and I don't give a fuck. But most of my problems are mental.
Deadened that you cannot express shock. Tell me, child, is my appearance that frightening? Or is it my knowledge of you that is so unnerving?
It's the flies that I keep hearing.
I am saying, how may I assist you? Selling remedies is honest work. I came to America after discharge from Chinese herbal remedies forces to help aging parents restore. Definitely, I am now American citizen. God bless the Allegiance flag. Chinese invented gunpowder. Yes, I know guns. Hold on, please. These are good remedies for many problems.
Kids don't
Embracing the American
Whoa,
spirit.
Yankee, my
My,
Yankee.
what the?
The finger need food.
Through most of the game, you're given tasks to complete by LaCroix. These serve as the
That
main
was
quest
shocking.
line, and you'll need to finish them to progress the story and unlock new locations. You'll get to meet the other major powers in LA as well. There's the Camarilla, which uphold the status quo and enforce the Masquerade religiously, Anarchs, who respect the Masquerade but hate the politics and hierarchy of the Camarilla, the Sabbat, who don't give a shit about the Masquerade, and
I'm getting a call. Alright, we are back. Had to put my little sister to bed real quick.
seek dominion
Let's
over
continue.
mankind. And finally, there's the Kuei Jin, Asian vampires that have recently moved into Chinatown and filled it with gacha machines. They use the negative chi
This man, Abel, must have been spreading his genes like, damn. He's got vampires everywhere. He's got a send.
formed by
Every-
gambling, organized crime.
I mean, he's been alive since, like, the beginning of humanity, so... Technically, even if he only had like 2 children, his bloodline would have still spread.
And gacha
Unless it
balls
got
to
diluted.
fuel their
Or
aggressive
maybe it
business
doesn't.
practices. Besides the main story, there's dozens of side missions to complete. None of these are your standard fetch quests either. They force you to think
Really?
and decide for yourself how to best approach them. Completing missions is important, since that's your only way of getting the experience points necessary for upgrading your character. Most of them can be resolved peacefully by talking or stalking. Some of them, however, cannot. And whether it's from other vampires or the same dude in a wife beater, copy-pasted 200 times, violence is inevitable. So building your character to be a smooth-talking, anemic slug might not be the best idea. There's a lot of nightclubs in this game, by the way. They're a good place to feed. They've also got some pretty good music. You can also dance. Even outside, there's some very nice ambience to fit the
California
mood. It
girls.
makes you feel like you're actually there. This game taught me that Santa Monica is a shithole, so don't feel bad about the
Well-
people you kill there. In a way, you're saving them from the pain of living in Santa Monica. Bloodlines controls quite
Los
simply.
Angeles
You
was
play
always
in
a
first
shithole.
person while interacting with objects and NPCs, and you
But, I
pan
mean, you
out
can
to
say that
first
about New
persons
York,
whenever
too.
you're in combat. Combat can be enjoyable, but mostly it is not enjoyable. Combat boils down to mashing left click while desperately scrolling with your mouse wheel and smashing right click to reactivate blood buff. Oh yeah, every clan's got vampires.
I mean, that's basically Skyrim. So, The combat would be
powers
alright
or
for me,
disciplines
but I don't
unique
know.
to their bloodline. Many of these cost a lot of blood to use, but they're visually impressive, they can end fights instantly, and they break the monotony of endless button mashing while hoping and praying that your enemy's life bar is smaller than your own. You could use guns instead, but unless you've invested skill points into firearms, you might be dead by the time you take a shot. Outside of combat, you'll be doing everything from investigating serial murders to evicting unfriendly spirits out of hotels. The
Oh,
Ocean
there are
House
ghosts
Hotel is
in this
there to
game
remind
too?
you that just because you're a spooky bloodsucker doesn't mean you're not capable of terror. The Ocean House is so infamous that it's got its own console
I can't. Let me see this.
command to skip the entire sequence.
I might have to do that. I might have to. I can't handle dark places in video games, okay? Like, I regularly take walks outside at night, alright? At night is some of the only times I like to go outside and just walk. But for some reason, in every video game I play, if a place is too dark, I automatically just don't want to go there. Skyrim, for example, some of the caves are dark. They're dark as shit and I can't see. And it gives me some weird tingly feeling on my back, so I just can't do it. I can't do horror games that have dark places in them. I don't know.
Probably one of the best horror segments I've ever seen in a game, and they managed to do it without a single jump scare. Just a feeling of pure condensed dread.
You see that? If it's a jump scare, I can get it. Jump scares are, they aren't that terrifying. But when it's just you alone and you expect something to happen, that's what gets me. And that's the whole reason why I just cannot handle it.
Infinite, so you never have
Especially
to worry
in
about
games,
space.
since
You'll pick up useful
I
items
play games
like
with my
blood
light
bags and
off.
firepower, and less useful items like birth control and estrogen pills. This game's difficult, and there's a few frustrating points in the story that might make you quit.
Why would you
Point
need
number
birth
one,
control?
Hollywood
Maybe.
sewers. At some point in the story, you have to find the Nosferatu, as they've gone into hiding for reasons unknown. This has nothing to do with a 3 billion Samisi flesh puppets clogging up every sewer drain, and you're gonna have to fight them all, including this big bitch who throws spare ribs at you. Also, there's no blood down in the sewers, so I hope you brought an entire fridge supply of blood with you. Good luck. Luckily, the unofficial patch fixes this completely. The good old games copy comes with a patch pre-installed, so you can take a convenient shortcut and save yourself the pain of going through this programmed hell. Point number 2, Werewolf Park. In this universe, werewolves are incredibly
exist too?
rare, but they're also invincible killing machines. In fact, you can't fight this puppy at all. It's immune to damage and can stun lock you to death.
Oh, you know what? Let's skip over that. I saw the video about that tail fox bench scene. Let's just skip over that.
This all happens in a span of 5 seconds.
How
so
do
most
you?
players
How
don't
did this
get the
guy even
chance to
find
understand
that?
what the fuck is going on before they meet their final death? Again, and again.
So
Even
just
though it
don't
kills
fuck
you
with
in
the
5
werewolves.
seconds, you're expected to survive for about 5 minutes. Oh, and forget about regenerating your health. Werewolf claws burn through your flesh, so it can't be healed back. However, after years of dying to that same werewolf, I found out you can actually kill it. What the hell? How is I supposed to know that you're actually meant to run into the observatory, flick the circuit breaker outside, run back in, open the dome, lure it into the dome, and crush it to death? How the hell was I supposed to know that? The answer
I would have
is,
never
I
figured
didn't.
that out.
I had to look it up on the wiki. After years of
Okay, I would have
suffering
never
through the same
figured that
mission
out.
each playthrough, this is oddly satisfying. However,
It would
if you
be.
can endure past those rough patches in the story, you'll start piecing together what's going on. The concern and focus of every major faction in LA is in one way or another centered on the arrival of a certain archaeological treasure, the Ankaran sarcophagus, which throughout the game has a bad habit of getting stolen. What's inside? Who knows? An old Assyrian king? Or a slumbering antediluvian, one of the oldest granddaddy vampires out there, who, if you traced your blood far back enough, might be one of your original fathers. Half the city believes the latter. They also believe that the moment Father Dearest wakes up from his slumber, he's gonna be hungry. Real hungry, and he'll sate that hunger by feasting on his children. Wherever we go, it
So
is the
basically
blood
one
of
of
Cain which makes our
Cain's-
fate. Your fate
Oh.
and the fate of the Ankaran sarcophagus are inescapably intertwined. Will you open up the
So
sarcophagus
Cain is in there
seal
or
it
what?
away for all eternity? That choice is up to
Cain
you.
or one of his
Vampire the
children.
Masquerade Bloodlines, a very unique, flawed, and fantastic diamond of a game. Terrible combat, 0 out of 10. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. Now I'm just fucking with you. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite and one of the most replayable RPGs of all time. There's very few games out there that keep pulling you back over and over again and still manage to make each playthrough different, and this is one of them. Go buy it. Go play it. You won't regret it. Get sucked into the atmosphere. Get a craving addiction for it and replay it every few years for the rest of your natural life, because there's nothing quite like it. A warm thanks to the many.
You know, you are glazing, but I have not played a game that you have not glazed that wasn't amazing. By that I mean one game, just Amazing Cultivator Simulator. I am an hour and 20, I'm 120 hours into that game, and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't get a good golden core for shit. But I think I will get this game. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll get this game. If it's on Steam, I'm definitely buying it then. Well, I guess that's all for today.